Hello, everybody. This is the Brightest podcast. I'm Gabe Klim, and today, um, I'm very excited about today because we are going to be talking about the Sony versus Morbius. Just came out back in April. I know I'm a little late in the game, but it's a great movie, and I'm excited to talk about it. But before that, I want to say a few things. We are on episode 8 of our podcast, and I feel like it's been going great, but I don't feel like we are where we need to be. Um, some of our podcasts, I'll admit to this, they've been going downhill compared to like how we started, and our blogger has been kind of empty for a couple months other than uploading podcasts there. So I want to start getting serious, and we're gonna start pushing some things out soon. I'm excited about it. But focusing on today, we are discussing Morbius, and our who would win question is taking two of the Sony versus quote unquote anti-heroes and pinning them against each other, and that is Michael Morbius versus Venom. This is, I know if you look at this question, you're going to think, well, Venom would win easily. Because, I mean, look at Venom compared to Morbius. But there is kind of... It would be an interesting battle. I'd give it that much. So, Facebook, Blogger, wherever you find us, go comment. Even on YouTube, go to our comment section. We are on various platforms, and we try to keep you guys informed on everything we have going on. So check us out. Definitely go and look us up. We are the Brightest podcast on Facebook, Blogger, YouTube, and we might be pushing out on some different platforms soon. So yeah, definitely check us out. But today we will be talking about Morbius, and honestly, despite its low reviews from critics and fans, this is a very good movie in my opinion. Most people did not like it for various reasons, but this, I think the main reason is because this is actually a real superhero movie. One of the first real superhero movies I've seen in a while. Because it was serious. It didn't have to have that constant need for comic relief. And yeah, sometimes that can be great. In the MCU, Thor is one of my favorite Avengers because he has that comic relief that is needed. It all depends on what mood and tone you're trying to set for the scene. And comic relief can be good, but Morbius was trying to set this very Venom-like tone where this is a quote-unquote neutral player, and it's a very monotone film, so of course it's not going to have as much comic relief. It also has just enough of the horror aspect that a vampire movie should have, while keeping on to the superhero feel to it. And Jared Leto, he's actually a very good actor, in my opinion. I mean, I'm biased because I'm a 30 Seconds to Mars fan, but still, he is a great actor. And I say this to people all the time whenever they try to trash actors. It's sometimes more of the writer than it is the actor. This is definitely the case for Jared Leto's portrayal of Joker in the Suicide Squad. He would have been a great Joker if the writers wouldn't have taken out some Joker-defining scenes. And you also have to look at the fact that, yes, there are better portrayals of that character out there, but he's supposed to be bringing something new, and I think he accomplishes that greatly. I have seen various animated versions of the Morbius character, and they're good, but I feel like Jared Leto comes out and he defines Morbius just how he should be. And even the writers in this movie, both sides did it perfectly. And the feel of the movie, as I was saying, it's amazing. The CGI and everything's great. the watercolor effect, as I've been calling it, of Morbius's power. Whenever he's speeding or whenever he's flying, the watercolor thing that we see coming off of him, that is a great aesthetic, in my opinion. It's beautiful, and yet it also gives that powerful feel to it. And Morbius' skill set is actually very cool. Not only does he have the whole suck your blood thing, but super speed, strength, echolocation. It's a very powerful skill set, and I think if we see more of this character, which I assume that we will, he could be a very devastating villain or a very powerful hero, deciding on where they want to go with him, because like I said, he is a very neutral player here, just like Venom was in his movie and sequel. He fought for himself more than for other people. Sure, we've seen some bits of a lethal protector in the second one, but really he came down to, okay, this guy's trying to attack me, let me stop him. I'm not doing this to save the city or anything, if that kind of makes sense. I will say Eddie Brock, on the other hand, he did have the kind of heroic sense in some places, but on Venom's side, Venom's mindset, it was, yeah, I'm out here for myself. But going back to Morbius, one of the main themes of this movie is that sometimes healing comes at a cost. Sometimes it's a hard road, and most of the time you have to stay where you are and not rush things. As we see in the movie, Michael tried to rush his healing, and yes, he got a temporary fix, but it also came at a very deadly cost because of his new bat DNA in his blood that causes him to become this vampire. And I will say we all have blessings that we deserve, but we have to go at God's pace with it. We can't rush things. And it reminds me of a story in Genesis 16 where Abraham and Sarah were promised a child by God, and they still try to rush this blessing, even they know that this is going to happen. It ends up Abraham conceives with one of the maidservants, and Ishmael is born from that. And if you do not know, Ishmael is actually one of the people who founded Islamic beliefs. So because they rushed this blessing that God had for them, it really turned out how it shouldn't have, and it had bad effects. Philippians 4:19 states that, "But God shall supply all your needs according to his riches and glory by Jesus Christ." We must not try and take what God has promised us for granted and form it to our own will, because God knows what he's doing. He had this plan for us, and he knows that we are going to become better from it, and we are going to take his blessing and multiply it, but only if we do it through his will. We can't sit here and try to bend the rules and make it what it shouldn't be. We see this deeply in Milo's character in Morbius. He gets this healing that he's stolen from Michael's serum, and he uses it wrongly. He only cares about himself in this situation, where we see Morbius, he tries his best not to consume human blood. He uses his own artificial blood that he created, whereas Milo is going into this thing and he doesn't care about other people's lives. He just cares about his own health. And that is really one of the dark side effects of rushing one of God's blessings. We start making it about ourselves, when in reality God is using this blessing for us to have a better walk in faith and in Christianity. So one of the biggest lessons that we can take from this is don't rush what God has for us. He has a plan, from the time that you were in, like from before you were born. He's had a plan for you, and you can't sit here where you are now and expect you to be somewhere else if that's not what God has planned for you. You can't go at your own pace. You have to go at God's pace. And yes, that's hard. Yes, that's difficult. I've struggled with this where I've said I want to be here in this amount of time, and knowing that God doesn't want me in that spot until later on. So we really have to just listen to what God has for us. And that is one of the messages that I got from Morbius. Like I said, great movie, guys. I'm very much going against what critics and fans have right now, because I think this movie has like a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. If not 13, then like something like 18. It's very low. And it shouldn't be, because like I said, this is a great movie. I really enjoyed it. But I hope you guys have a really good week. Next week, we are going to be talking about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I am actually going to see it today. I'm very excited, but also scared about it. I've been trying to stay off of as many social media platforms as I can to not get spoilers. But of course, they always have to find you. So, yeah, be excited for next week. Like I said, we're going to be pushing out more. You should expect a new blogger post a day. When it's out, I will post about it. And you guys have a great week. God bless.